Hello everybody, Brian Tulsa here. It's been a while since I've done this. I've been trying to get some video work done. I've been focusing a lot on the other channel out of necessity. That's the one that drives my income. That's the one that allows me to survive and make a living. But this channel is important to me too, and I have had the hardest time recording any videos for it. I couldn't even get through Vlogmas. I got a little ways in and then I just ran out of steam. And it's not because I don't have ideas for videos. The problem is I ran into an anxiety problem that was like slamming into a brick wall, and that's very frustrating. I had plans for this channel for this year. It's now April, and I haven't started any of them, and I'm not thrilled about that. One of the things I wanted to do with this channel was travel. I wanted this to be at least partly a travel vlog, and I had specific plans for travel. One of those plans will still be carried out. One of those plans is to go to Augusta, Georgia for Joe Fest. I've already got that booked. I will be going, but there was another trip planned for earlier in the year. That was going to be a Route 66 trip. One of my lifelong ambitions was to travel all of Route 66, at least all of it that can still be traveled. But to go from the starting point in Chicago all the way to the end point in California. I had a plan for this. I can't do that on my own. It's something I would need to fund, but I had a plan to fund it. And I was going to take my daughter. She actually wanted to go. Believe it or not, my daughter actually wanted to do something. But my idea was to go up to Chicago and to start at the beginning. I consider Chicago to be the beginning. You can start at either end, obviously, but I always considered Chicago to be the start point for Route 66. And I have it right here. I have this written plan, this itinerary for the trip. It would have taken 2 weeks. I laid it out so that I would, first of all, have a place to sleep each night I tried to book historic hotels. I tried to book hotels that were that you might want to stay at, like a wigwam or a famous motel. I've got a list of them there. And I also laid it out so that I wouldn't have to drive more than a few hours a day, so I could spend more of the day going to attractions, showing you some of the museums and the roadside attractions and things like that, making a real journey of it. And obviously I would take you along. I would video all of it. It would be a nightly task to edit that video and publish that video each day. So you could go along the trip with me. And it's not just driving the route. It's stopping at all the places, which is something that I often am not able to do when I travel. A lot of times when I'm traveling, I've got to get from point A to point B in as short a period of time as possible. This would have been different. This would have been traveling for the experience of the journey, and I was very much looking forward to that. My plan to finance it was to give you, dear viewers, an opportunity to participate. I thought, let everybody get a souvenir. I'll take back souvenirs. I like souvenirs, but my idea was, if you contributed a certain amount to the trip, you would get a coffee mug. If you contributed another amount to the trip, you could get a t-shirt. And I would pick these up on the way. You would get your own souvenir from a specific part of the trip. So I just thought that would be fun. And if it's something that if somebody else were doing, that's something that I came across on a channel that I watch, I might want to get in on that. It kind of makes the viewer a part of the journey in a tangible way. You get something tangible that you can have as a memento of this journey that you've vicariously gone on. And I thought that was fun. But my plan was to start that in January. I wanted the trip to begin in May. It would be maybe a month and a half before the Georgia trip in June. The reason for that timing being that's when my kid would be out of school and the weather would be pretty good for it, I think. At this point, I don't think there's any way to do that. I needed to start earlier. And I feel like, I'm kind of disappointing my kid too, because, this is something that she was interested in, that she was excited about. And I was excited about it too. Circumstances are just such that I don't think I can do it. Things have just gotten in the way. It's particularly the month of March was a frustrating month. Just lots of stuff happened. For the Georgia trip, I set aside a budget, and I did a GoFundMe, and part of the budget was for vehicle maintenance, because when I took my trip to the Northeast, I had some car problems, and I didn't want to have that while driving to Georgia. Well, within the last, 2 weeks, I've spent about triple the budget that I had set aside from the GoFundMe for car maintenance to get this car fixed and running properly. This car is awful, and I can't realistically replace it. I can't realistically get a different car right now. I'm stuck with this one for the time being. It should be in good running order now, considering how much money that I've put into it and the different things that I've had to have repaired. But for a couple weeks, it was like one car issue after another. And it was expensive. It was really expensive to fix. And they're not things that I could have fixed myself. I had to take it in and have it done. But I did it. What I'm thinking, though, is we're in April now. May is coming up. I still have the ambition to take the entire Route 66 trip. I can't do that, but maybe I could do a quarter of the trip. My daughter wanted to see some specific things in New Mexico. What if I were to take that leg of the trip and then come back? That might be doable. Can I afford to do that, without assistance from viewers? Maybe. But there would still be time if people wanted to get in on it, get a souvenir. So maybe I'll do that. So I've been looking at this, my handwritten plan for my Route 66 trip, and I think I've almost figured it out. I can't wait too long to figure it out. I've got to figure it out in pretty short order if I'm going to do it, because if I'm going to stay at like historical motels and stuff like that, places that you might want to stay if you were to take that route, I've got to book it. I can't wait forever to book it. So within the next couple days or so, I'm gonna see if I can figure that out. If it can't be done, then it can't be done. But if it can be done, I want to do it. I think this is important for my overall well-being too. It's been a rough winter. I have sat inside my home for far too many days and far too many hours than is healthy. And it's one of the reasons why I'm doing this video in my car, because, well, I wanted to go on my back patio to do it, but I have a neighbor who complains. So I just didn't want to deal with that. So here I am in my car. At least I'm outside. At least I'm, in the relatively fresh air. But I need I need to get out. I need to see things. I need to do things. And as good as it has been to get back to toy reviews, that activity is a pretty solitary activity. I still need to continue to do that, but I've got to sprinkle in some travel, some just living outside of my, the four walls of my home. I've got to get out. I've got to get out. And finally, the weather is somewhat cooperating. We had this thing last week. Well, pretty much all of last week. I call it winter in spring. It was just unseasonably cold. The weather would tease us like, okay, spring is here. Oh, just kidding. No, it's not. It's now near freezing again. You'll be shivering when you get out of bed in the morning. Annoying, a little frustrating, but finally the weather is somewhat cooperating, and it's time. It's time to move. It's time to travel. Travel is always something that has made me feel better. It's made me feel more alive. That's one of the reasons why, when I felt like I needed to sort some things out in my life, I traveled. I went to the Northeast. I went to Ohio, Washington, New York, Boston. I had to move. I had to go and see that there is more of the world outside of the narrow confines of my everyday life. And I want to take you with me. I want all of us to do that. And if we can't all literally, physically go together, then we can vicariously go together through the magic of technology. So that's my thought. That's my plan. That's what I want to do. I've got to figure it out, and I've got to figure it out fast, because if I don't, then I'm going to run out of time. So if things go as planned, you should get another video here within a day or two with some concrete plans for a trip that we can all take, and some concrete plans for how you can participate in that trip and how you can get something out of it, something tangible, something that you can keep with you. And so look for that. And let's just do better. Let's just do better. It's been kind of miserable for a while now. Let's force things to do better. Life just doesn't seem to want to fall into place. Life just seems to want to block all of the opportunities that we have to move forward and to make things better. Well, let's just bust through some of those barriers. Let's just make things better. Anyway, that's what I'm going to try to do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you hopefully very soon. And take care. I'll see you next time.